Okay, sorry.
No, that's all right. Yeah, absolutely. We're live, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. All right, this is the Painesville Township Board of Zoning Appeals. We're going to call the meeting to order, and like we do with every meeting, we're going to ask to stand and we do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. Rachel, if you would kindly do the roll call, please.
Okay, Dave Anzera?
Here.
Dave Lindros?
Here.
Dale?
Yes.
Okay, Ken, who's not here, Randy, who's not here, and Chairman.
Here. All right, so let the record show who is present. And at this time, I'm going to ask our legal counsel to talk to the people in the audience and explain why, if you're going to testify, she needs to swear you in. So Mandy, if you could.
So if something were to need to be appealed out of this meeting tonight, anything that you say would be recorded, and so we need to make sure that anything you say is the truth and that you're swearing that everything that you say will be the truth. So if there are people who are wanting to testify, when you come up and you talk, you need to state your name, address, and I'll swear you in.
Okay, so you'll swear them individually then.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can explain why later.
All right, so Rachel, if you would read case number 2023-0019-BZA.
Okay, applicant Horgan Gale submitted a variance application for property located at 871 Arden Avenue. The request is to allow construction of an 18 foot by 8 foot cover for the front deck, which proposes a minimum setback from the road right-of-way of 24 feet and 9 inches in violation of section 15.03, which requires that the minimum distance between the main dwelling and road right-of-way shall be 50 feet.
Okay, I find no error in our zoning inspector requiring a variance for this. Is there someone to speak in favor of the request? They're not here.
No, they're not. I sent an email, so it was a Bright Covers. It was a contractor that applied on behalf of the applicant. I did send them an email letting them know when it was, what time, and that a representative will need to be present to speak on behalf of the project. And he did respond that he received that and thanked me for it. So I don't know if he just...
Okay, what I would recommend that someone make a motion to continue this and to give them another chance, see if someone comes to present their case.
I'll move that we continue case 2023-0019 BZA.
Second.
Okay, Rachel, motion's been made and seconded.
Okay, Dave Lindros,
Yes.
Dave Anzera,
Yes.
Dale Lewis,
Yes.
and Chairman.
Yes. Okay, next, if you could read number 2023-0020 BZA for conditional use permit.
Applicant Fred Schwindler submitted a conditional use application for property located at 65 Normandy Drive. The request is for operation of an indoor climate-controlled storage facility, which has been declared a similar use to those uses listed in the B3 zoning district by trustee resolution.
Fred is also not here, Mr. Chairman.
They're not here either?
No, he is not.
What's the timeline on the township wanting to do this retention basin?
I think everybody's anxious for that to happen. We haven't received anything back yet from the architect that's doing the design for us through Tim Miller at the county. I think that if the board is comfortable, I think Fred would be comfortable if a decision on conditions were made on his behalf based on the application documents that he submitted. But that said, it can always be continued. I really should have followed up with Fred earlier or later in the day today. Fred is.
object a little bit to putting conditions on something when someone's not here. You know, I just find that a little difficult.
Yeah, understandable.
How does the rest of the board feel on that?
Same.
Are there conditions to be put?
Pardon?
I mean, is it, I don't quite understand what he wants to do. He just wants to,
Wants to make a storage building.
out of a building that's previous, right?
That's a
The
bowling
bowling
alley.
Alley, yeah.
So he wants to turn it into a storage facility then, huh?
Yeah, this is another one that was approved, through similar use, the same way the
Right.
that storage facility was, but if the board isn't comfortable,
Well, let's talk. Are you comfortable, Dale, putting the conditions on that he has on there as far as times and everything?
Well, you know, with the storage unit, the times are pretty straightforward, right? I don't even know if he posted any times, did he?
It's on it, yeah, it's in here.
Yeah, they're all here.
Oh, okay.
It's like 7 or 8 pages.
The only reason I would say that we might want to consider it is that I think you all know that the township wants to get they're going to buy some of that property. They need to put in a retention basin over there to quell some of the flooding over on Coventry, is it?
Normandy.
Normandy, okay. So I don't want to hold up the township for that if,
Oh, sorry, the Coventry neighborhood, yes.
yeah,
I
Coventry
apologize.
neighborhood. I don't want to hold it up for that if that is something that's fast tracked at this point.
So I'm guessing all the exterior is going to stay the same except for signage. Is that?
Yeah, yeah.
The 5 to 9, that's pretty extensive, 5 a.m. in the morning, but I don't know as that would be a problem for anybody in that neighborhood. The gas station's open pretty early and
Well, it's storage access, yeah, 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. I don't know if they're going to plan on bringing in big trucks at 5 a.m. That's something we probably need to talk to him about. I would say let's continue this. Make a recommendation to continue it. I don't like doing a conditional use permit when there's no one here.
I'll make the motion that we continue case number 2023-0020 BZA to the next monthly meeting.
I'll second.
Okay, Dave and Zara,
Yes.
Dave Lindros,
Yes.
Dale,
yes,
and Chairman.
Yes. Okay. Oh, those were quick. Now, Rachel, if you're ready, if you could read 2023-0021 BZA.
Oh, 0021.
21.
Okay. Applicant Joseph, I'm so sorry if I pronounced this wrong, Servosky submitted a variance application for property located at 810 Meggs Avenue. The request is to allow installation of approximately 180 lineal feet of 6-foot tall wooden privacy fence in the front yard of the property in violation of section 6.14E, which requires that no fence in the front yard shall exceed a maximum height of 36 inches.
Okay, again, I find no error in our zoning inspector requiring a variance. Is there someone here to speak in favor? Finally. Okay. Yeah, you got to come up and be sworn.
Can you state your name and where you live?
Joseph Rashowski, 810 Meigs Avenue.
Okay. And do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright. So I know originally I was going to do a 6-foot stockade. I did come up with a better idea about doing maybe like a deer fence instead. It's made out of 20 gauge braided wire. It's about 95% transparent, so that won't cause any kind of visibility issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe that might be better. I know being on a corner lot, the whole visibility triangle is a problem.
What's the height of the fence you're looking at?
I'm looking for 6 foot.
6 foot.
I've got a 4-month-old husky at home, so she could probably clear 36 inch pretty good right now.
So it's for a dog.
Yeah, it's for a
essentially.
dog.
Is this just like a chain link fence? Is that what?
Pretty much. It's like a really thin chain link. It's only about maybe a 1/4 of an inch thick, if anything. Yeah, it's a really thin braided wire.
Is that like chicken wire?
Pretty much. It's the closest thing to it.
So there are some fence types that we don't permit, and so I just wanna keep that in mind as we go through. So I'm actually trying to find the fence type. Do you have, an example of it?
Yeah, I mean, it's the website I went through is called Deer Busters.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just like a second option if we don't want to go with the wood stockade.
Do you prefer the 6-foot stockade, and that's the variance you're asking for?
I mean, I'll do either or at this point, whichever one you guys will allow me.
How did you determine the size of the fenced-in area that you want to fence in?
I just went by the parameters you guys gave me: 45 from center on Meigs, and then
Yeah.
30 from center on Morrill.
Setbacks, that's what you went by?
Correct.
So it's mainly just the height of the fence.
Yeah, I'm really looking for the 6 foot.
Okay, so we do specifically prohibit the welded wire. I've seen a product fairly similar to this deer fence that isn't welded.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see that on their website, but I could try to find that as.
Yeah, I don't think it is welded. I think it's just pretty much like chicken wire, and you just cable tie it to the poles, and it has stakes to drive it in the ground with to retain it.
Okay,
'Cause
yeah.
it comes into a big roll.
That likely wouldn't be permissible. So is it
Those
the
huskies could
hexagon,
climb.
the hexagon shape wire?
I'm thinking about doing an electric fence also outside of it, just at least so she knows she get the beat from the collar.
Yeah.
Electric fences are prohibited too.
Oh, they are prohibited?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's prohibited is chicken wire, woven wire, welded wire other than chain link. And electric fences are listed in another section here.
So a chain link would be approved, though?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, if that's the route I'd have to go. Then.
I would say since he's asking for the variance of the 6 foot high with these setbacks, I think we could probably move ahead, but make sure that he gets an approved fence, and you have to okay that, Harley.
Okay.
Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, if we want to
Because
stick
what
with
you're
the
looking
wooden-
for is it's not the style of fence, it's the height.
Yeah, I know the height's the big problem with being on the corner lot. I know it's the whole visibility.
That was my main concern, was looking, but coming out of the driveway and here, I mean, you're 45 foot back. That's pretty far, but, all right, does anyone else have anyone else to speak in favor? Do you have anything else?
I got nothing
Anyone to
else.
speak against the request? Any questions from the board?
I went up there and looked at the lot and
Yeah.
with it, and so I would agree. I don't think you have the fact that you have a chain link or something you can see through. It makes me feel a lot better about this. So.
Yeah, if we have to go the chain link, that's fine. I mean, does color matter at all? If I get a black chain link, would that be fine?
Yeah, that would be fine.
Okay.
So I recommend we make a motion to grant the variance for the height and just make sure he has a fence that's approved by our zoning inspector.
I'll make the motion to approve case number 2023-0021 BZA with a 6 foot tall chain link fence. And I don't have to specify it's black, right?
I would just say something that's approved by our zoning inspector, 6 foot.
A 6 foot
high.
tall chain link fence that would be approved by our zoning inspector.
Is that satisfactory?
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, so that was a 6 foot tall chain link fence that will be approved by the zoning inspector.
Any style chain link that he picks, as long as it's approved in our zoning resolution.
Okay.
We'll let Harley determine that.
And then Dave Lindros motioned and Dave Nzera second. Okay.
Correct.
Okay, Dave Nzera,
Yes.
Dale,
Yes.
and Dave Lindros.
Yes.
What about me?
Oh, Chairman, sorry.
Yes.
I usually have this all on paper
Is
in
this,
front of me.
when do you want to start this?
It's messed up.
As soon as I possibly can. I'd like to do it before the snow comes.
All right, so basically, I'll explain to you, when a variance is approved, it really doesn't become official until the minutes are approved at the next meeting. But we can do a thing called journalize this entry, so it becomes effective immediately. So if you'd like us to do that, we can do that.
Yeah, I'd probably do
All
that
right, so if someone wants to make a motion to journalize this decision.
I'll make the motion to journalize case number 2023-0021 BZA.
I'll second.
Dave Anzera,
Yes.
Dave Lindros,
Yes.
Dale,
Yes.
and Chairman.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Keep that husky safe.
All right. So, Rachel, when you're ready, if you could read, I'll let you finish your notes there.
Sorry, I usually have it all on paper in front of me, and the printer jammed tonight on me. Right
No,
before
no
the
problem.
meeting.
Take your time.
0022.
Yeah, 2023-0022 BZA, if you would read that, please.
Applicant Mentor 2 LLC submitted a variance application for property located at 0 Lanark. What does CV mean?
What?
Cove.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Lanark CV.
Lanark CV. The request is to allow the creation of 2 condominium parcels before the structures are built in violation of the Painesville Township zoning resolution, which requires that no parcel shall be created without appropriate frontage in a public or private roadway.
Okay, again, I find no error in our zoning inspector requiring a variance. I did have to call her today to get a little clarification on this. So if there's someone here to speak in favor,
Yes,
Could you state your name and address?
Mark Strauss, 39489 Tudor Drive, Willoughby, Ohio, 44094.
And do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to
I do.
this board?
Thank you. Members of the Board of Zoning Appeals, my name is Mark Strauss, and I'm the manager of Mentor 2 LLC. I'm sorry, can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay,
we can hear
I'm
you.
sorry. If I may, for a moment, I know you got my packet. I'd like to approach
Sure.
the board, though. Just so it's simpler, not if you go through the whole application. I wanted to bring this to your attention. So I've discussed this with Harley, and I've discussed this with Dave Radacci at the Lake County Planning Commission. Because there's now only 2 units left and they're not contiguous to each other, we have 2 separate parcel legal descriptions, but we still only have 1 tax ID. The issue that's come about and the reason for this request is that my lender will only give a loan on 1 parcel, one loan for 1 tax ID number, but will not give a loan to build both simultaneously. So the purpose of this is simply to take parcel 1 or parcel 2 out of the current deed and assign a new, transfer it by a quick claim deed, getting assigned a new tax ID number so that I can get 2 loans at that point in time, because we're going to build these simultaneously. The purpose of building them simultaneously, to be honest with you, is an economic thing for us, because once my foundation is dug for the basement's dug for the first one, it gets poured, they're going to jump right over and do it. So they're just going to work simultaneously at the same time. So it's that. And then the other thing is that by only getting 1 loan, technically you can't get a plat until drywall in a condominium. You can't get a plat and a separate tax ID number technically until there's drywall up, because then the engineer comes out and he surveys it and he plots the house on the land where it is, because all the land around it then gets deeded to the homeowner association. So all it is it's asking for a second tax ID number, which the county says that if I get the variance, they would approve, and I can get 2 separate loans and I can build these simultaneously. There's nothing more than that to it. And you could see by the map I gave you that they're not contiguous, and that's all the land that's remaining at Old Westbury Estates is what I own.
Okay. That's pretty much what you explained to me, that you need to do this for the lender. They will have 2 separate addresses, correct?
Oh, they already do. Hey, they already do. It's one is 501 Westbury Drive and one's 511 Landmark Cove.
So how did it happen to where both have only 1 tax ID?
Well, because that tax ID number is actually the original tax ID number when the development was approved. What happens is when you build a house, that drops off of that tax ID number, the legal description, and gets added as a separate tax ID number for that buyer.
Hmm.
So this tax ID number has been around as long as that land's been there. So it's never changed. So all it's doing is you're dropping off these houses now, and the rest of the land goes to the association. So that's the point. So when they came in to get this approved in 1990, whatever it was, 2000, that was the tax ID number that they used for approval of the project. So everything the land just drops off of the original parcel, and the remaining land keeps that tax ID number.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Okay.
And the application says you already got the building permits for both.
We to be honest with you, we've got a waiver of mechanics lien from our title company, and so we actually were going to dig the basements Monday, for one of them, but my contractor got tied up on a sanitary sewer project, so it looks like we're probably going to dig on Monday is when we'll start digging the first one. I have one of them sold already, and I have to deliver it by June 1st. So, and I imagine the other one will be sold. I mean, there's no inventory out there, and I'm sure you've seen the housing market and things like that. And I'm just fortunate that I've had this land. I mean, I've owned this land since 2011, so it's time. It's time for me to get going, and so that's my intention. That's my intention. And actually, having listened to the past one that happened, I would request that this be journalized because we're trying to close on the construction loan. To be honest with you, we're trying to close on Friday. Is what we're trying to do. So if you could journalize it, that would be great. And thank you for your time.
Okay. Anyone else to speak in favor?
I agree with you.
Anyone else to speak against? Okay. Any questions from the board? Someone like to make a motion, please? Let's switch it up. Why don't you make the
Okay.
motion?
It's still another day, you know. Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve BZA 2023-022-BZA as requested.
I'll second.
Oh my gosh, that's me. Okay. Dave Anzera?
Yes.
Yes. Dale?
Yes.
Dave Lindros?
Yes.
And Chairman.
Yes. All right, now who wants to make a motion to journalize it?
I'd like to make a motion that we journalize case 2023-0022-BZA.
Second.
Dave Anzera?
Yes.
Dale?
Yes.
And Dave Lindros?
Yes.
And Chairman.
Yes.
Sorry.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
I
you bet.
appreciate it.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Now let's have one more motion to close the public hearing. And
I think
we'll
you may
open
have dropped your pen there. Underneath the chair.
I'll make the
Hope you have a
motion.
mild winter trying to get the.
We should be okay. I mean, I agree with you, but I think we'll be on the roof hopefully around the end of the year.
Good.
We'll be quick.
Okay.
What do I have to get for Dave?
I will just email it directly over to Dave tomorrow.
Okay, so I can prepare the deeds and
Yeah,
go?
yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm, you're welcome.
Have a good holiday.
You too.
Okay, you too.
Have a good
Thank you very
night.
much.
Okay.
I'll make the motion that we adjourn this meeting.
I'll second. Adjourn the public hearing.
Yeah, public hearing.
Public hearing.
Dave Anzera?
Yes.
Dave Lindros?
Yes.
Dale?
Yes.
And Chairman.
Yes. All right, everyone should have a copy of the minutes. Do you see anything there that, does not look correct?
Look good.
If they look good, our secretary's doing a wonderful job with these minutes. So if there are no objections, let the minutes be entered as submitted. Old business. We have any old business?
No, Mr. Chairman, we do not.
New business.
None. Mr.
Just that,
Chairman.
when these people do this, we call a board together and they don't show up.
Yes.
You might want to. My feeling is, first time, shame on them. Second time, shame on us. If they don't show up the second time, I'm for denying the thing.
Absolutely. And I will make sure.
Make
that
sure
the
they know that.
applicants
Because
are-
you feel silly. They're not here. They're not here. They're not here. But
Mhm.
I can understand if they have something that comes up, but they should let you know so you can tell them. But
Yeah.
Right.
you let both people know, and no one showed up, and I could care less if they do what they want to do. They're the ones that are applying for it. So.
I want to reopen as another bowling alley.
Well, you'd
Well,
have to
he's
swim
already
across to
started
get
cutting
into it.
inside, so.
Oh, is it had some drainage issues over there?
Yeah, the township wants to, they're going to sell the property back to the township, and the township wants to put a retention basin in where the main part of that parking lot is.
Really?
Yeah, so there's going to be ice skating over there,
Ooh.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
How will that affect their parking for their storage unit?
I don't know if they really need much parking for that. They're going to have enough room for that.
And one of the questions I have was they said that the flow of traffic is going to go around the building, like clockwise.
Yeah.
And so if you go behind the building, it's pretty. There's not a hole. It's
You
That's
have
like
some
the
answers
fairgrounds
to
right
that,
there.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's because of the detention basin. So
Yeah.
we're gonna be taking up basically everything north of
Right.
the structure. They're going to take the front for their parking lot and then a small strip so they can get people around the structure.
Yeah. No, so behind the building on the south side of the building, though it's like it's just a tiny little it's a grassy strip with some gravel.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the road to go around.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much land do they own to
Uh,
the south of that?
we're taking, what was that, a total of 5 acres, and we're taking, I think, 3 of them or something like that. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head.
Are they planning to put more doors in it? Because right now it's just,
Yeah, I think
Couple,
he's gonna do one. So here, I'll pull it up here. How many acres is it? Yeah, 5.27 acres is the total acreage. So basically, they would get this portion and then skinny it up here and around, and then they would have the rest of this, but their drive would be through there. So.
Have you looked at the roof on that thing?
All of this.
No.
It's all shingles. It's a huge
perfect.
dome, and they're asphalt shingles.
Yeah.
I always think of you when I go by that thing.
Well, you like those big areas, you don't have to.
You go quick, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see with that gas station how they put a drive-through in there?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely did. We stopped and talked to them and gave them applications and everything because it's a new owner, and this
Sunoco?
new owner did their drive-through, which I don't. How could you maintain that? It's so small.
It is.
And let them know, about the issue with the U-Hauls. And he said that they might be seeking permission to keep the U-Hauls there. And I'm like, well, then you need to apply for a permit because the permit doesn't follow the owner. It follows the applicant or the land. It follows
land,
the
yeah.
owner. So we stopped in and spoke with him, gave him all the applications he needed. We have not heard back from him yet. So he's on
And
our
he just
list
made
of
like a
James.
second-hand smoke shop out of that gas station.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they've got inside the gas station in their retail side, they've got a whole bunch of like CBD stuff
Yeah.
and other things in there. I don't know.
It was funny because I went in there. I'm like, I don't remember seeing any of these
Yeah. Well, this
Being allowed.
guy.
being permitted.
Yeah. So apparently the new owner has like a warehousing operation for this type of product. So he's been bringing it into whatever stores he
Do you
owns.
foresee things coming here with this issue 2 passing?
Potentially, I brought it up to the trustees and suggested that we make changes to our zoning resolution. I've already drafted them, so we're going to treat them the same way we do adult-oriented businesses. So like this gas station wouldn't be able to just sell marijuana out of the gas station. So the marijuana dispensaries for recreation or medicinal use would be regulated under the same very strict stipulations that we do adult-oriented businesses. So right now, adult-oriented businesses have to be located so many 100 feet away from a property zoned for residential use, a property that has an active residential use on it, but it's not zoned for residential. Schools, churches.
4-H groups at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, so all of those things.
But there's already one there across the street from the fairgrounds.
Oh, the adult, that one's legal non-conforming.
What is that?
So can they sell marijuana there then, or is that?
No, they can't.
It's the old
No.
Lawson store.
Yeah,
What
that
adult
is-
use?
It's like a CBD store?
No, it's an adult bookstore.
Yeah, the adult
Lingerie
bookstore
and all.
across the street. Yeah, there was we actually still have pictures from when people were picketing the business, and that situation is what brought forth the zoning change for adult-oriented businesses. And so that business, and I think just Teason was actually legally located, but it was very it was like the perfect triangulation of space for them to be able to fit there.
That's gone though, right?
Yeah, it's gone now.
Okay.
So
Yeah, they came in and they had that softball place in there now.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. The softball place is on one side, and then the athlete
Like the
personal trainer guy is
fitness,
on the
yeah.
other side.
So are they going to limit the amount of marijuana stores that are allowed, or?
I would assume so, knowing the state of Ohio, but I honestly don't know. They have 9 months before they have to roll out a game plan. And when they were doing the medicinal marijuana, I think they used up all of the days that they could before rolling out a plan for the medicinal shops. So I would assume they'll probably do the same here. So they've got 9 months from December 7th. Mandy, is that right? Do you know?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like from
I was
December-
wrong about the 10 plants. It's actually 6.
Okay.
I did look that up because I was like, yeah, that does seem like a lot.
That I was like,
But
that's a
6
lot
per
of plants.
person, and if you have a household of,
12,
Yeah,
12
yeah.
maximum.
for the house,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
So
can't
like
have
that's
like a
Oh, you can
family of
grow
12
too.
and
yeah. But 12. So if you're a married couple, 12 plants.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's a
That's
lot.
quite
but,
a
I mean,
bit.
It's a lot less than 20
Yeah.
per household, because I was like 10 per person. That seems.
Hmm.
But it seems very generous for a state like Ohio, because I remember in California when they were first rolling out recreation, I think it was something like 8 or something like that for even California. And they were just everybody had it.
well, Ohio, the state was stuck with the way the bill was written, or the law was written, right? I mean, it wasn't written by the state; it was written by
Yeah.
whoever proposed it and got all the votes and
Yeah.
the signatures and so forth.
Yeah.
It sounds like DeWine's wanting to make some changes to it.
He wants the legislators, he's requesting of the legislators to make some changes in relation to how certain things are handled, like, he doesn't want people to be subjected to the smell of marijuana if they don't want to be, so he wants to limit, like, no use in public. You can't smoke marijuana in public the way you can a cigarette. He also mentioned some concern about gummies being ingested by children, and so he was talking about wanting legislators to make those changes, just to make sure that kids don't accidentally ingest the gummies or cookies or whatever edibles they have that might be like sweet treats to kids. I don't know. He didn't say specifically, or at least I didn't see, he didn't say specifically what way he wanted that to be handled, whether it was to ban those types of edibles altogether, or your guess
Probably
is as
have
good
to-
as mine. I don't know.
I don't think he'd be allowed to.
No, you
Bill-
can't
the Bill's
ban
already been
apples.
passed that allows it, so they
Yeah,
can only
yeah.
restrict it somewhat, but I don't think they can say no more.
Oh, yeah.
None.
Yeah.
It'd probably have to be some kind of like child-proof packaging or something.
Yeah, something like
Change
that. Or,
packaging and
You would think
or
advertising.
they can't be like
Yeah.
bright colors. Like
Yeah.
you can't add food coloring to something that makes it look.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some lessons learned from some of the other states have already passed it that Ohio could kind of benchmark, like things that worked well and things to not do.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah.
been out a long time.
Yeah.
I think I was a child when it happened in California.
I mean, look how well they made out.
So yeah.
Bunch of kooks out
Don't
there.
benchmark. with
Everybody's moving to Texas, right?
So they're all moving to Texas, yeah.
or Arizona.
Texas and Utah and Montana.
But
Okay, so our next meeting is the second, what's the date of the second Tuesday? The
that
11th,
December
Or
12th.
12th?
well,
I plan on being here. Does everyone plan on being here? Do we? Okay, so we'll have the only thing, you have anything else other than these continued?
no, not right now. I don't. I
Okay.
don't have anything.
So can we have our township Christmas party here that night?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. If I remember, Dale, you can remind me, I will bring some of my chocolates that I make. I'll
Yes.
put some out.
Please do.
So should I bring some bourbon? Because bourbon
Yeah,
and
yeah,
chocolate
bourbon and
go
chocolate
really well.
pair well together.
Yeah.
Are we doing an adjournment?
Well, so I don't think we need to make a motion to adjourn. I can just adjourn this hearing, can I?
You're supposed to make a motion to adjourn, but
Okay, I can't make the motion, so.
I move that we adjourn our meeting this evening.
Second.
Okay.
Dave and Zara,
Yes.
Dale,
Yes.
Dave and Sharon.
Yes. Thank you. All right, thanks, everybody.
All right, guys.
Stop up with us, I'll buy you a beer.
I might have time. This one's quicker than I thought.
Well, when you get